So this is a follow-up video to the darkroom printing tutorial where we made this print. And we are going to go ahead and expand on this, and I'm going to show you some easy dodging and burning methods. So photography is painting with light or drawing with light. Then dodging and burning really is one of the most powerful tools we have in the darkroom. Dodging and burning is essentially holding back light from the paper or adding more light and exposure to the paper to either lighten up the print or darken down the print. So typically what happens is the highlights might need more exposures and the shadow might be lifted. And it really depends on what you're trying to achieve with your print. But if you just want to get all of the information onto your paper, a lot of times that's what you'll have to do. Now this can be done to do minor or really major changes. And the reason that we dodge and burn, specifically with analog, with film in the darkroom, is because paper has a certain range that it can reproduce tones. And film has a certain range, which is much greater than the paper. So what we have to do is take the range that we capture on a negative and put it into a smaller range of tones on paper. Not always an easy feat, but there are some tricks and other things we can do to make that easier. So right off the bat, with the negative that we are working on right now, I've found a contrast that I like globally. But what that did is because there's more of a range in the negative than what the paper can handle at that contrast level, I'm going to have to burn down some of the highlights. Now, when scanning the negative and looking at the proof, I definitely can see detail throughout the sky, and these highlights aren't quite as blown out, but I do like the overall contrast and how this print looks. So I'm going to stick with this contrast and just burn the sky in and burn some of these highlights down and maybe dodge the dude on the couch up just a little bit. I'm going to keep the same base exposure with 14 seconds. And I'm also going to do just like a 1 second dodge on the dude on the couch. That's what I'm going to call him, the dude on the couch. Just to make him pop a little tiny bit more. And then I'm going to burn the sky for 7 seconds. And how I got the 7 seconds was simply looking at this test print that we did, and each one of these was 3 seconds. And the last one was 21 seconds, and the sky looks great. So I'm going to go 14 plus 7. I'm going to burn up the sky. Then I'm also going to do just a 3-second burn on the street, just to dull it down and draw your eye back up into dude on the chair. Then the last thing I'm going to do is take a hole in a card and burn using my lowest contrast filter. And I'm going to burn on the pumps and on these distracting highlights in the background. And I'm going to use my lowest grade filter because I want to affect the blacks as little as possible, but affect the highlights as much as possible. So I'm going to burn down on a card right there. And that's going to be, I'm going to do a series from 10 seconds to 10 seconds to 10 seconds. So that is the game plan for this. Super easy, not difficult to do. And my suggestion, if you're new and you've never dodged and burned, just jump in and start doing it. See what's possible, see what you can do. Don't be timid. You can make mistakes, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You will learn from them. In fact, I encourage you to make mistakes. And the tools I'm going to be using are just a small dodging tool. And this is going to be used to dodge the dude on the couch out for just that 1 second. Then I'm going to just use a piece of mat board to do the burning in of the sky in the foreground. And then to do the burn of the gas pumps and the distracting highlights, I'm just doing using a card, and it has a kind of a fuzzy hole. So I purposely left the mat board kind of frayed in the inside of the hole, and that's going to help keep from seeing any hard edges when you do it. That, along with keeping the card moving around, will help kind of disguise any manipulations that you make. And when I come in with a card like this, I usually start about halfway, and then I'll come in a little bit lower and go up and down and move it around a little. And that's, you just want to keep it moving like that. Same with the burning card. I usually like to start about halfway. The closer down you are, the harder the edge, so the more you have to make sure you're really moving it. But you can also make a hard edge if you want to, hold this down close. You just have to be very precise with it. So the closer you are up, the softer that edge gets. And then if you just move it up and down or around and fan it, and that's going to really help to kind of disguise, again, your manipulations. So let's go ahead and turn the lights off. So now I have this set up. This is with the filter 1 in. And what I suggest doing is, before you actually put photo paper in here, this is just the back of an old print. Especially if your dodging and burning is quite complicated, run through it first. You don't have to use the good photo paper at first. And then another thing is, maybe turn the music off. And I like to just take a deep breath in and out right before I'm about to start, and that will kind of get you focused, get your memory on track to what you have to do. So those are 3 tips. Do a practice run, and we'll do that here. All right, so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to just do a practice run to kind of show you what that looks like and walk you through, kind of what I'm doing. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on for 14 seconds. And now I just want to dodge him out very subtly. So it's important that I know that I have time here. So I just got to go in for 1 second. 1. So that, as simple as that. Don't panic, don't freak out, just go in and do what you got to do. Like, it seems nerve-wracking at the time, but it's really not. Then I'm just going to leave the timer on 14 seconds because I want to do that 7-second dodge burn. And so we're going to go ahead, I'm going to cover the whole lens here. And then I have time to come down, and I'm going to come right down to that rooftop, and I'm just going to go up and down with it. And this one I can keep really sturdy just to get the, not sturdy, but really accurate. And let me show you. What I'm trying to do is, if I come right on that roof line, I don't want to be above the roof line because that's going to leave a white mark here. So I want to have some of that included. But on this one, you could even try and mask this and just set it on there, but you'll probably end up seeing some stuff, especially on this sign. So what you want to do is just bring it up just a little and then just feather it up and down. And you want to, get as close as you can. And then at the end, you could even kind of feather it out a little bit if you wanted to give it, another second or two to darken the sky down a little bit more. So that's how I would run that. And then I would run it one more time. And we're going to go 3 seconds at the bottom. And this card's a little big. And this, I'm just going to start here and fan it down. 1, 2, 3. And that's it for that. Now, I'm going to take the card with the hole in it. I'm going to break this up into 3 sections. Now, there's some bright spots here through here, and I'm going to do 10 seconds there, then I'm going to do 10 seconds there, and then I'm going to do 10 seconds here. And what you're looking for, the bright spots are the dark spots of what you're looking at. So I want 10 seconds in here, 10 seconds in here, trying to avoid the guy, 10 seconds in here, and then maybe even a little bit over in there, and just keep it moving. But if I break it down into 3 10-second areas, it keeps it more consistent from print to print for me. But you could just count out to 30 and do the whole thing. So I have to set my timer up, and we'll go 35 seconds. And one way to do this, I like to just hold it up here on the start, and then when it hits 30, I just go in really quick. But you could line it up and either put another card or your hand on top or underneath and use it as a shutter and then take it out. So that's another way you can do it. I just always prefer to kind of jump it in, yeah, like that. But again, you can put your hand on it to block that hole and then just bring it out. So I'm going to do how I normally do it. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then jump to the next section. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In the next section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bring it up. And you are good to go. So that would be my test run. One thing to note when you are burning these highlights, they are really dense areas on your negative. So you can typically give them a lot of burning, and you want to burn it down to where it's necessary, but you have to be careful of the thinner areas in the negative, because those are going to take the exposure much quicker than the dense areas. But just keep in mind, like sometimes it will take a lot of burning, and you just want to prevent it from haloing. But that's what, if I switch and use a 0-0 filter in here, which I'm gonna do for the final print, will help keep those shadows from getting too dense and making it noticeable. So let's go ahead and make the actual print. And here we go. 1001. Now I'm going to go ahead and burn the sky for 7 seconds. And again, I'm going to get kind of close to make it tight. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if I would have set the timer, I could have just went right into the bottom, but I'll just hit it again. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Click it off. Now I'm going to have to change this filter. And when you're changing the filter, just be really, you don't want to be, well, clearly you don't want to bump or move the enlarger or do anything that would cause it to go out of focus. So now I have my lowest contrast filter, and so whatever that looks like for you, either over, under, dialed in, depending on your enlarger. So now I'm going to set this up for 30. We'll go 5 seconds, and here we go. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop. All right, let's get this bad boy developed. So then here is the print that we came up with. You can see there's detail in the sky throughout. He pops a little bit more. The distracting highlights aren't as bad on the background. But you know, I think looking at this as just a second test print, I think it's coming along really nicely. And what I will probably do from here is start thinking about printing this on a fiber-based paper, because this print's kind of growing on me. Dude on the couch is growing on me. Hope that helps you understand dodging and burning a little bit better, or how you might want to approach it in a print. So this is just one way to approach printing, and one that I use quite often. But again, we're trying to get that broad range, all that dynamic range that you can capture in a negative, and get it condensed down onto your printing paper with a contrast that sings and makes everything pop and look amazing. See you next time.